All right, let's dive on into this one, huh? We actually played this deck yesterday as well, and it felt really sweet. And if we have another good run today, I think I'm going to add this one up to the website. So this is a mid-range control, I think it's more control, Zoe Ezreal deck. So Zoe here is an elusive threat that generates card advantage. Every time she hits, she generates that super cool star chart for herself that lets you invoke different celestial things that cost 3 or less. So good range of things that she gets to find for us there. And then Ezreal, also another elusive threat that lets you create value by generating mystic shots to interact with the opponent's board. So both of these are cards that can be more aggressive, but they can also be played in a deck like this that allows them to be more controlling. At the top end of this deck, in addition to our champions, we have Sub-Percival here as a threat that says is a 1/5 elusive for 5 that draws a card when it comes into play. And then if you've played at least 10 differently named other cards, it gets +4 attack permanently. So if you've played a bunch of differently named cards, this is a 5/5 elusive for 5 that draws a card when it comes into play. This, in combination with invokes that play multiple cards with different names, Chump Wump, Goat making gems, Ballistic Bot making ignitions, Spell Thief grabbing extra name cards from the opponent. We can not only level Zoe quickly with this deck, but we can turn on Sub-Percival quickly. So let's go ahead and dive on into a few games with this here today and see if it feels reasonable yet again. Oh, I forgot to make my picture big for the deck tech. Awkward. Damn it, Jeff. We'll survive. Yeah, that's definitely true, Flame. Honestly, it might have been a mistake taking sub-only chat off from the start, because, like, the threads of people being salty that they got timed out for posting lazy stuff would have never existed, because they wouldn't have been able to post from the start. So it removes that amount of toxicity from my life, too, for people who want to be upset because they were held to a standard.
I bear a message from... Oh, hey, what's that?
Read. That's fine. Something is going to die to Thermo Beam at some point. We got a pretty good curve in our hands here. Unchecked Starlit Seer on 2 is pretty scary. There's a good chance, depending on what the rest of their hand looks like, that this could run away with the game. I'm not going to block here, even though I have the Mystic Shot, because their deck plays Troll Chant and Elixir, so even if I block here, there's a good chance this can't kill this still. I don't quite know why, but the internet overall has felt like a better place for a week now. That's because moderation is beautiful. And we recently finally got the crap moderated out of someone who desperately needed to be moderated. There's some treasures, a lovely drum. Some treasure working overtime with our ballistic bot here, letting us just sit here and generate extra cards, turn those ignitions into real card draws. It's gonna keep taking my trades here, denying them the ability to deal us damage, stunts their Sejani development as well, which is valuable.
Can you improve perfection?
Who goes there?
Who goes there?
An auspicious season. Blessed by snow and stars. An auspicious
Wait, did they just play an actual copy of Mushroom Cloud? They just, like, have copies of Mushroom Cloud in their deck? Is that real? That's interesting. Drawing and triggering their Sejani this turn was probably a mistake. The fact that they hadn't triggered Sejani this turn was a reason to wait on that rummage.
You own what you take.
One meteor, please. Well, that's technically what I asked for, but what I meant was comet, so we're dead. So that's an unfortunate case scenario that Sejani happened to be the top unit of their deck there. If a non-overwhelm unit had gotten those bonuses, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But Sejani getting them means that it's going to be a rough bit. We have Hush and Moonlight. If we needed that to not be Sejani, or we needed to hit the meteor to be able to kill it immediately. Either of those two things would have led to us being in an okay spot there. Not good, but like not just dead. Zoe Asol. Super happy to keep my Zozo to start. Mulligan these, keep the Static Shock to kill their Zoe down the line.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly! Ah, look at this reality! Look how sparkly!
They are very likely a Plaza deck, which makes Aftershock an excellent draw here.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the roses!
Unfortunately gonna get hit by that. We have to open attack and generate a gem at least, but not fantastic for us for sure. This is usually the peak deck, right? No, not at all. The opponent's deck is a Plaza deck, Plaza control, generally speaking.
Ask me about dragons. I just may have an answer.
Play this out as a blocker for Zozo. Hey, Coldpuck, thank you for the 23 months. Give me Zungrief, thank you for the entire year. Good morning and welcome back. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Mortex, thanks for the 21 months. Howdy doody, folks. The opponent's archetype has seen a ton of play since the start of the format. There's a good mix of things that you can be playing, whether they're Zoe with Asol, or Lux with Zoe, or Garen with Asol. There's like a mix of 5 or 6 different champions that you can pair these two together in this region combination that this shell then fleshes itself out around. I think I'm just aftershocking this.
Stuff, but could you maybe speed things up
I'm gonna
a
be
little?
sad if they draw exactly Plaza, but this gives me good open attacks next turn.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what the data says about this archetype after we've had a little bit of not go hard being in the format. So I know when before Pack Your Bags was nerfed, the metrics on this archetype were really mediocre. Its overall win rates against things were very low.
Firing.
That actual factual? No, egghead research rate. This is like that's a neat one. How do you feel about double gemming this to block this? Kinda don't hate it. Yeah, Leona's another one that pairs well into these regions. In this type of go big shell. Do they play Pale Cascade? Yeah, they do on occasion. That's fine. Getting this down to 1 means like something like a Static Shock could kill it later too. I don't hate Written in the Stars. I guess this to help keep the board in check could be good though. Let's get some of their bigger things.
Blessing.
Yeah, the fact that Spacey Sketcher gets to eat my 5/2 here feels real bad.
And here's where it paid
Trade with technically, but feels like an eat. If they generated something that kills Ezreal here, that would be really bad for us. Just gonna go ahead and take the hit down to 14 here, I think.
Witness perfection.
Meat bags. Yeah, but Ezreal gives us spell sparks. And they don't have a lot of good Mystic Shot targets regardless. And you could argue that getting to target things multiple times is actually upside with Ezreal. Poteller, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Into the Crescent Strike here
another spark.
to be able to tempo their Plaza play next turn. Like they play a unit out, and then we can stun whatever their unit is plus the Eclipse Dragon.
System upgrade.
The strength of the sun and my faith are one.
Safety disengaged.
Think I'm still like a yodel in uniform.
Plaza making our Static Shocks real bad, feels medium.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
Gravity? Which side was upside again?
Feel like there's a chance our opponent's just gonna bigger fish us at this point.
Ship time!
They have Hush and Sharp Sight in their deck sometimes. There's a chance Zoe gets eaten in combat. If Zoe gets eaten, we're still pushing a lot of damage, though, which has value.
Warning, take you.
Yeah, Judgment. Judgment's not a card that you ever really have the ability to play around, so not even thinking about that one. Jump Bump's been pretty mediocre so far. I can honestly see cutting this from this shell being correct. Well, I don't have any other Celestials, so I guess we just take the Destroyer. ETZ, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Okay.
Hold still.
Excuse you.
You can hush stuns off your own units. Yeah, you can hush frostbites off of them too. For point of reference. Silence basically means wipe all modifiers off the cards you're targeting and delete its text box. Pretend its text box doesn't exist and wipe all the modifiers off of it. This is the biggest fish in the pond, right? So I have 13 mana total. So I can, if this hits a comet, we can static shock to pop his spell shield and then comet him. Okay.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
This level's Ezreal too. Oh, you know what? Okay. I'm not dead yet. I don't have a sweating emote in my emote lineup here. What a punt. What a punt. Do you have second Azul? We've dealt with first Azuls, but what about second Azuls? I think I need to play this to not be dead to Pale Cascade, unfortunately, right?
No, no, no!
Radiant strikes.
Back, heretic.
They've not played any Pale Cascades yet this game. Feels like a strong possibility that's something they have.
Oh, hey, what's that?
Daylight warms
I think we just take Sisters here. Why am I not casting Mushrooms? Because my opponent's deck has a good number of cards in it as is, and the longer I wait to cast Mushrooms, the more I have Ezreals. There's 2 Ezreals in my deck. These are worth points of damage with Ezreal. The message I'm failing to say. They're likely not worth points of damage in the short term. I've also been using my mana every turn. So like from a resource efficiency standpoint, yeah, I have Rummages and some Dredgers in my deck as well currently.
Once I snap papers, now faces.
We have to kill this so they can't level Aesol this turn, right? Yeah, getting paid off for waiting. Yeah, their archetype also plays a ton of healing, is accurate. So like they're not really at 9, they're probably at 14 more realistically. If they open attacks, I'm obligated to chump block with Zoe.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
Moonlight and Ezreal are both good draws.
I've given up chasing this one. Can you improve perfection? Hey, take it
To the gun show. Yeah, that rummage there really kind of highlighting why I'd been holding on to these mushrooms that whole time, right?
Now they see who I truly am. I bow to no one.
I mean, I don't know that we're gonna win this game, but I'm not throwing away my shot, chat. Ezreal is young, scrappy, and hungry, and he ain't giving it up.
Now they'll pay attention.
I'm so good, I surprised myself. Time for a true display of skill.
Be quiet!
Yeah, we had Hearthstone lethal there. Assuming they had nothing, we had Hearthstone lethal.
Perfection.
Have a point of damage.
Prime and my, how they stare.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
I mean, chat, the opponent's playing a control deck, and they have like 6 cards in their hand. People that are surprised my opponent has answers here, like... The Ezreal was a good draw for us, but we were still incredibly far behind.
Must give you more fangs.
My spirit shines.
I mean, we don't have a value generator, Suchworth, so Their value generator is better than our non-existent value generator is an accurate summary of what is currently happening. Yes. This isn't a value generator. This is something that deals 1 damage per turn. I'm not dead yet. Cheeky jury rig coming in with the clutch blocks. Does Ezreal leveling matter? I don't think so. I think we just hope to draw Ezreal and hope they don't have a hush.
Constellations bow to me. My, how they stare.
We're in that game a lot longer than I expected to be. Ezreal, and second Ezreal would have given us Hearthstone lethal at the very end. Ezreal tends to embarrass any other non-Ezreal control decks. Sometimes Feel the Rush could go toe-to-toe, but anything that's like mid-range slanted control like what we're playing tends to have a real bad time there. Alright, mulliganing for some Aftershocks here in the Plaza matchup. I think their deck's just embarrassing enough without Plaza that we want a full mulligan looking for it. You're right. I technically had put 10 mushrooms into your deck, hope you draw a bunch of them next turn. I saved everybody a few clicks and crossing their fingers though. Look how sparkly! So, Jubu, something that's important to understand about the stream, I know you're newer here, is that the rate at which we play decks don't really represent my personal preference towards decks. So, almost all of the content that happens here on the stream is viewer-submitted content. So, I like all Zoe decks for the most part, but we're playing this deck again because we had someone submit a donation yesterday to run it back as a point of reference. Would I rather kill Bark Beast or save Zoe this turn? I think I'd rather kill Bark Beast. Save ourselves a couple points here. Yeah, Courier. People can always donate for me to add things to the queue that I would like to play in particular. Most of those are Zoe decks. I think I wanted to play another 4-3 here. I guess playing this out, I'm a little bit sad if they play their scout. Am I? I think that's fine too. We just trade.
Tail, start to die.
Trade seems fine for us. Fine with either of these trades here too, yeah. So I got to get in for 8 now.
This is mercy.
So silencing this means it doesn't get to come back, which is nice. Hey, Fear Devil, thanks for continuing your sub-gift. I appreciate the support. Good morning and welcome back. Nice. Little afraid of Hecarim here. I think I bank spell mana this turn, so that way I can have 9 total mana next turn, so that way I can go Priestess into Comet something, should they have Hecarim. Gazby, thank you for the 56 months. That is an absurd duration. Welcome back. Nice, Jeff. I guess we just play Chump Wump now, because Chump Wump discourages these two from attacking. Rawr.
I am superior life form.
Wow, what is in their hand?
Disengaged.
I think we're gonna bot and then play a bunch of created cards this turn. And attack for a metric ton.
Perfection. Join me if you want to live.
Like these are, this is +2 for these. Well, I mean, I guess we're pushing lethal here. Courier, thanks for the tip. For dealer's choice, definitely. I really appreciate the support. We'll see if they have a way to make ephemeral units here. They could have another way to make ephemeral units to basically fog us. Yeah, and I feel like this is a win for us. So like we can't attack here, but they also don't have this on offense now. Nice. This lets us kill this, so it can't hurt either of these. I have star shaping, so we hopefully don't die to this Neverglade Collector offhand.
Disengaged.
These things are gonna be huge.
Hey, dig it.
The gun show.
System upgrade.
The opponent's playing Lucy and Hecarim with one Kalista.
Making the dead deader.
He's gonna give the bots overwhelm here. Yeah, there's a good chance Scourge is lethal. Because these are gonna have 10, 12 power each here. Pretty sweet finisher here if so.
Hey, Dad.
Safety disengaged. System upgrade.
Is that the leveled up form of Danger Noodle? Asking the real questions. Casual -11.
Fight
I mean, their hand just did what that deck often does. Like, the way that a lot of people build that Lucian Hecarim deck is, it's just embarrassing and unplayable if they don't have Plaza in play. And they probably had a bunch of awkward cards that just generated ephemerals and didn't really add board presence. I think the average way that deck is built has felt much worse to me than the build that's up on my site. That's got the more aggressive slant to it. That's able to just, like, have a reasonable game plan when Plaza's not involved. People build that deck to high roll, leaving their average draw or their draw when Plaza gets destroyed very mediocre to bad. Aliri, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel this morning. Ash Sedge. Look at these two. I think I'm going to keep Sketcher with the Goat here. Hopefully Goat generates us a gem that we could then use Sketcher to invoke with. Zoe on one sounds perfect.
Look how sparkly!
Look out, sparkly! Yeah, this opponent's archetype is one of the many examples of this was the best deck in a Runeterra format at one point. It got some small nerfs, and it's no longer the objectively best deck, but it is still super playable. And like this exchange, right? Like, they Culling Strike my Zoe, they traded 3 mana for my 1 mana. Like, the tempo on that exchange is, like, very good for us. Probably just take the opportunity to invoke here. I think we just take the Golden Sisters. Opponent deck's kind of aggressive. Having multiple bodies that they need to Frostbite is good. Ha! That's a nice one to draw. We can invoke a Danger Noodle here, will be in a great spot. We get to discard this, and then Noodle and Noodle can hook this.
on one arrow.
Danger Noodle.
No paint is just accidental art.
Just like we drew it up. So, Brittle Steel is their best possible card to have here. Because it would let them eat this without it generating a gem.
These are our lands.
But Jeff, I shorted stocks on Ash, expecting her to take after the nerf. How am I supposed to build value in my collections if the cards maintain their value? Oh, it's funny because it's sad.
Many tribes under one banner.
What if I Aftershock their dome and then next turn go Gem Moonlight you can't block attack? Harsh Winds could get us, but we don't even lose if they have Harsh Winds. We just don't kill them. I'm into that.
Avarosans, stand together!
So they can Frostbite these two and go to 2. If they don't have double Frostbite, I guess they can have a mixture of Frostbite and Culling Strike here. I think I like trying to push lethal this turn. Okay. And like I said, our punishment for not getting to push through with lethal this turn is like, they're at 2, and they spent their whole turn staying alive, which meant they couldn't develop their board more. Those were both Ash. That's great.
Our banner will lead the way!
Hold still.
Easy jump block.
Trickster never loses because
Zoe makes the roses. Opponents' regions can't gain life either, so we've got 2 Aftershocks and 2 Mystic Shots in our deck. I guess they technically could be playing Kindly Tavern Keeper. Sometimes they play that, but usually they don't gain life. That's annoying. Glad we played Zoe before, sister. Sister, sister. Do 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 boo boo. Do 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 do. I'm gonna play some Percival out pre-combat, I think. Meow, 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 meow. Hush is actually an incredible draw here, because it means I can unfrostbite my elusives inside of combat.
Winter take you.
It is time.
So I'm attacking with this, because if they kill this, I can hush this once it's been unblocked to have it push damage in. Although this would only be 1 with the Hush, right? This is 4, though. And they've already declared no blockers, so this is technically lethal. Yeah, sick. That was a good game. Feel like it really highlighted some of the strength of what our deck is doing well. A lot of small decisions and sequencing there. Yeah, Moonlight Affliction was really good there. Lucy and Hecarim again. I'm gonna keep Zoe on 1, because Zoe on 1, I'm gonna look at the rest of these looking for Aftershock. Nailed it. Crunch.
Push back the darkness. Bring in the heat.
I think I give them a turn with Plaza. It's a little scary. None of these are the danger noodle I wanted for Christmas. I think I honestly might just take a reroll with the Spacey Sketcher here. Do I need this? Maybe I'd rather have Charger than Chump Rump. Man, that's super unlucky. Maybe the Chargers will be aggressive enough to let us push in here. No no what's it called is good for us. No Plaza. I'm up.
Here we go.
Hold still.
Almost made an oopsie there.
This is mercy.
Still looking for a noodle.
Riddle me something cool. Stop, stop, stop. Let's do it over there.
So Lucian's gonna get to level this turn. Sure.
I'll bring them peace.
If you have rallied, your turn. I guess if they Hecker him here, we Aftershock this. Zozo's at 6 out of 10. We're getting close to leveling her.
Bring in the heat.
Is this worth gaining 8? Probably. They're still pretty high. I don't get to stop by much, but I think I give you more money through Twitch than the US government has during the pandemic. You're not wrong, Manny. Thank you for the support. Hope all is well in your neck of the woods. I'm just gonna murder this. Before they can nail a rally on me. Zoe's at 8. So this into this will level Zoe.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
We each died and then found home.
Don't blink.
Wheel turns. Day becomes night. Time to be colors.
A lot of these Rekindler builds don't play Sharp Sight.
Stop me.
This is probably best, right? Because it gains us life.
How's it going?
I guess Equinox would have triggered Ezreal. Do I want to Mystic Shot? I don't want to Mystic Shot this. This gives everything lifesteal, that's true. I think I'm just passing here. Dealing 2 to Lucian means we can kill it next turn. That's a good observation. Okay, yeah, I like that. It's a good thought. It means with this other Mystic Shot, we can kill this.
Sure.
Because I don't want to kill this turn, because then they would get a rally here. And we're going up to 8 mana, so I can Sisters plus this. Oh, that might be able to do it, chat. So, to the people in chat that are talking about the messaging on the Democrats, there is a good faith position that, so there's 2 sides to that discussion. One, they only ever said $2,000. They never said 2,000 additional dollars. The other side of that is people assumed they meant 2,000 additional dollars, and it's not unfair to hold them to what people assumed they meant. But acting like they said something they didn't and not that there was a miscommunication in there, I think is very silly. Okay, I think we do this to level Ezreal. I don't think I need lifelink this turn if we do this.
Stuff, but could you maybe speed things up a little?
So I think the people that are making it out like they lied to us and were acting in bad faith from the start, I think that's an unreasonable position. I think this is definitely an instance of the reality lies somewhere in the middle. Also, it's important to acknowledge, like, if the only thing you got out of Biden's proposed initial stimulus plan is they're only sending another $1,400 to make a total of $2,000, I'd really encourage you to go back and look at that plan. That includes things like a $15 minimum wage, lots of money to state and local governments, and lots of other important things. So I again agree with you that there has been a miscommunication, I think is fair to say, about what the expectation was there, but that's also not the only thing they're putting up. It also includes extending unemployment benefits. You could argue that it's not enough and you would like to see more, but again, like, at least come from a position of reasonableness. Yeah, that's because Hassan's very smart. All right, if they have a 2-mana card to make, if they have a 2-mana card to make a Ephemeral Seer, we're probably gonna die. Rekindler was not a card I was playing around, or Chronicler was not a card I was playing around on the Lucian. All right, I think we easily just go to 3 here, right? All right, and then we go Sump into Golden Sisters here, give everything lifesteal and try and push for lethal.
Hello, love.
In the field, you call me
Nice, sick. Level Zoe's great.
That was super fun, and I gotta say,
Oh, Zozo. Yeah, this one's been good. I think I'm gonna put this one up on the website. I think it feels like it has a hard matchup against like Acel decks, but it's far from the only thing up there that does that. Acel kind of chews up and spits out bigger mid-range decks. Like what? I like what this one's doing a lot. Feels like it's got good tools, and I feel like it has a pretty unique axis that it's attacking from. Hollowed Moonlight's been excellent at multiple times today, which has been fun. Looking for like a Sump Dredger here. Aftershock's not terrible. Hush and Hollowed are good in this matchup too. Ways to make their Fiora not have a bunch of combat tricks. I think I go ahead and goat here, because if they play Fiora and they pump her with Sharp Sight, I can kill her with Mystic Shot. This gives me a chance to generate 2 gems. I followed the whole debate on Check's close, and the messaging was always, we need $2,000. Yes, yeah, Fear Devil. That's exactly correct. And then people just assumed when they got $600 checks that they were also going to get 2,000. So again, I feel like people just want more. And it's, again, people are hurting, and even $2,000 probably isn't enough. And that's not even probably, it isn't enough compared to what every other developed country has done. But to say that they promised more is reading into what they said and taking it to mean something that they didn't say. So I think you could come at it from the position of $2,000 isn't enough and the government needs to help people more, and I agree with that, but I think coming from the position of they lied to you and they were conning you the whole time is bullshit, because that's not what happened. So call a spade and say, this isn't enough, we need more. I'm good with that. I agree with that. But they were lying to us this whole time is nonsense. I think I just take this pass here because they're burning more mana than us, and then I get to open attacks again here.
Strike, we will reform.
I think I'm super happy with this exchange. Anytime you kill a River Shaper and it only draws 1 card, feels like a huge win. I think I'm just making a couple of 5-power things here. My family's doing very well given the state of the world, silly cheese.
2 worlds, 1 balance.
I think we're just passing here, right?
It must be done.
Excuse you.
They do play deny, so we could get denied on this. Hopefully it's just Sharp Sight. Concerted Strike. Okay, yeah, and that's gonna let this grow big enough to... It's not about sending mixed messages, Knacker. I think that's bullshit too. It's not about mixed messages at all. They sent a very clear, their messaging was clear. People just assumed we can only spell thief, concerted strike, and notify. It's nothing useful here, so it's gotta click OK, unfortunately. And honestly, I'm probably more empathetic to them than the average human being, because as someone who's in a position where I have a small audience, the number of times where people try and take something that I said out of context and turn it into something that makes me look bad, even though it wasn't what I said and it definitely wasn't what I meant, but they decided to read between the lines and hear what they wanted to hear. I'm definitely empathetic to that happening to people in positions where they're looking. And like, you could discuss it. That doesn't happen with GOP messaging, Knacker, because the GOP doesn't have messaging. They have lies and bullshit. They're not actually pushing policies. When Donald Trump ran to become president again, they literally didn't put forward a platform and policy proposals. Like, they don't have that problem because they don't have messaging. They just, like, when you can lie constantly with no repercussions for destroying the truth, yeah, you don't have a problem with what you're saying because nobody holds you accountable for it. You just say whatever you want. You make shit up. Oh, moonlighting to trade here seems real bad. I guess I could Spell Thief and Concerted Strike them at this point. I could also just take the Sharp Sight. Yeah, that's fair. Let's do that. Which means they have to have another trick here, which often they do. They didn't play units to the board early, so it kind of, like, their early just River Shaper plays felt like they have a bunch of tricks waiting. All right, so Cat's gonna be online here in a second, which is nice.
And a long path to get
I think I'm gonna kill this, and then maybe I'm supposed to gem this first. As someone Canadian, people out of work can be giving $500 every 2 weeks and a one-time payment. A one-time payment of $2,000. Yep. Yep. Okay. And then we get to go ahead and deploy the Submersible here and have pretty okay open attacks. Meow, 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 meow. Shame we don't have one more mana to rummage away that ignition before we lose it. Then we incidentally got some mushroom damage. Sounds great. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. So the idea behind trading Zoe and banking mana as opposed to striking Jeff is I wasn't expecting whatever I did there to work. And if I was gonna get blown out by them having another combat trick, I wanted to invest as little resources as possible into getting blown out. So the odds, also the playing Concerted Strike gives them more cards to blow us out with because Concerted Strike gets denied. So Concerted Strike gets blown out by more. Yeah, like, they both lose to Barrier. I honestly wasn't expecting, regardless of what we did there, to work, but if we did get counterplayed from them, I wanted to spend as little mana as possible getting got. And you can see how the following turn, where I used all of my mana, that banking that spell mana was very valuable, right? Like, the following turn, I used every bit of mana that I had, including the 3 that I saved. All right, so Mystic Shot, Mystic Shot, and Ballistic Bot are good, cheap early plays here. I'm gonna mulligan these two, looking for other cheap early plays. I didn't have a Hush Landed. I had a Moonlight Affliction, which costs 5. Honestly, I think I just take this pass. So they're playing discard aggro. So like we are definitely favored here as this game goes long. So I'm going to play this Ezreal. I'm going to attack with them. And then if they pass without playing anything, I'm going to take the pass. Wow, giving Ezreal the clap here. Rude.
No way.
I don't believe so, BDP. It's actually not a dumb question. I'm pretty sure they count as the same card. What's going on, oldest son? I'm doing well. Are you feeling okay this morning? Yeah? I think especially with this rummage draw, we play Chump Wump here and plan to rummage through these pup caps.
Hey, what they doing?
They're about to give us a beatdown. Actually, that's not true. We have a Mystic Shot here for this at least, so. We're gonna take 6 here. This'll trade into here. Having this for the Battlecaster is good. We'll see if they have vision here or not. They almost always have vision. If they have vision, we're taking 10. Never not vision, chat. Never not vision.
I know.
At least we have that one to kill. Vision gives all their guys extra attack. Makes them super strong. Super ultra strong, yep.
Like Kildo, not that many Kildo, but we like setting. We don't have them. How many Kildo we have? Get down, Buckwell. Get down, Buckwell.
You want to give them mushrooms?
Yes, because they're hungry for Buckwell.
Oh, you think they're hungry for mushrooms?
Understand, silly?
I don't know.
Get down, Buckwells, okay?
So I don't really want to trade this for this, I don't think. So I'm going to go ahead and try and attack in here. Nice. So Mystic Shot lets us clean up this, which is decent. Is this card good again now that Go Hard is less of a thing? Based on the metrics, this card has always been good. Yes, buddy.
Another card, but it's too that guy so big not get in trouble, okay?
Okay, don't crowd favorite me, opponent. Have a heart. All right, so we've got.
I gotta work with this Joker.
I think we start with Rummage here because Rummage gives us a chance to hit. Equinox, or gives us a chance to hit Hallowed Moonlight, and then if we miss on a Hush or a double Hush, we'll super cool star chart looking for Equinox. Alright, obviously should have discarded the Submersible. God, just the unluckiest permutation of crap. Super unfortunate. That is your daddy losing the game.
I know you're
Hard card.
stuff, but could you
Dear
maybe
God.
speed things up a little?
Maybe that card we can zero, but I mean, bad enough. We got zero, right?
You're
Zero.
between me and glory.
We mean zero, right?
Excuse
Zero
you.
is the key. Card you got.
Okay, buddy, I love you. I need you to go out of my office. You're very loud. You can play a game.
You what?
Sure, you might do that. The switch is upstairs. Wherever you left it. Oh, I'm kind of surprised they didn't axe this first and level him up. If we can dodge a fervor, we can dodge a ball. Not really. We're kind of dead. We're kind of dead regardless.
Humanity is obsolete.
I get to play this out this turn, at least, I guess.
Rules are made to be broken. Like buildings or people.
You should try blinking sometime. Can you improve perfection? I assume this is a deal 3 here.
If we would have hit a silence last turn, we would have been like in double-digit life total. Had a lot of draws and misses. That's how it goes sometimes. We're even playing more silences than average too, because we've got 2 Hush and 2 Moonlights. Yeah, we also missed on Crescent Strike. So yeah, I wasn't even thinking about Crescent Strike. Yeah, so like we missed on our 4 Hushes, our 4 silence effects, and 3 draws, and then we missed on the 2 invokes that were relevant there. It's like pretty incredible overall, all things considered. Some jury rig sounds great. They go to mulligan these 2, looking for like Zoes and Goats. This is likely overwhelm aggro, but like other cheap beefy units like Goat to start. Nice. This card's also not terrible here. They tend to play a good bit of pump spells. Things like the +8/+4 tradesies.
Doesn't scare me. Lives on.
Just gonna trade early and often here. They attack, we'll block and take 1. Keeping our life total high has a lot of value. Is lying protected by the First Amendment? It's a good question.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
I would assume so.
War Mason, reporting for duty.
I finally found my way to Runeterra for magic. Time to sub back to Hooglandia. Hey, welcome back, Soren. Good to see you here. Runeterra's got a lot of great things going on. All right, so with this, do I need double Moonlight this game, do we think? I feel like the answer is no. Crescent Strike seems like the best of these. I was kind of hoping for a Danger Noodle to hook this. Am I Crescent Striking here? Does that give me the longevity I need to stay alive? I feel like the answer is no. I'm gonna Priestess and see what they do here. Comment actually seems okay.
Heart and lights the way. Back heretic.
Putting this to 1 and this to 4 makes Meteor Shower line up really nicely into them. Alright, so this is at 2, but this is at 1. And we have Aftershock for this.
Carved from the savage cold.
Honestly, it might have been wrong to ditch my second Affliction.
Bristle, attack!
I think I want to hold this till a Battle Fury. Just gonna go to 4 here. Worse, much worse Hush there. Yeah, honestly, it's so hard to get people who have played a lot of card games to try Runeterra because like all the other card games, even when they're good, they're still so predatory. It's tough to convince people that Runeterra is actually different and they're not just being sold into another con. When you hear, no, really it's different, like you've heard that before and it was a lie before. I've been having that exact problem. Why not block with the 1/1? Because if they didn't pump there, Claire, I wanted to kill Sajani with Aftershock. And yeah, I think I should have. We might lose this game because I discarded my second silence. Nah, if lying was against your oath of office as a politician, the Republican Party would have folded up a long time ago. Great, Ezreal's leveled, and then Subpercival's gonna be good to go. We might be able to burn them out here.
The world's a big place. Let's be all
Gravity? Which side was upside again? Whichever way the paint drips, Zoe.
Okay, so we double gem, and then we can Aftershock and Mystic Shock this turn. So these are... I think I want to get out of Culling Strike range. If they had Culling Strike, they would have played it last turn, right? Yeah, I actually just want to diversify where my damage is coming. So then this is 10, and then this is 4, and then 3, and then 3 more next turn. If they don't have interaction, we have Hearthstone lethal here. Sweet, yeah. They were at 20 when we started this turn, right?
firing.
Nice.
Karma pass.
My friend. Kill them with the spell thief. Ah, the Star Chart.
That was super fun, and I gotta say,
I'm gonna write a thread. Hey, my 20-0 in one turn took a lot of hard work in setting up. It was very interactable. They just didn't have any interaction. Yeah, I'm pretty into this deck. I like what it has going on. It feels like a good mix of stuff. After the only change we made from where we started yesterday was we went up to a third Aftershock, and the third Aftershock was really, really good. The mix of cheap interaction as well as the ability to have real closing power with Subpercival and Ezreal and our other champions felt really, really good. The Targon cards, oddly enough, end up having a lot of synergy with Ezreal, which is something I didn't consider to start. Like, we saw Crescent Strike double level Ezreal, Equinox helps level Ezreal, Meteor Shower double levels Ezreal, so I was really impressed with the amount of synergy that the Invokes especially had with Ezreal's ability to help close out games. Honestly, with that consideration, one change I might make is Static Shock was a little mediocre. I mostly had this because I was worried about having enough ways to level Ezreal consistently, and I think all in all that we really didn't have a problem, especially with Moonlight Infliction. So I think the change I would make at the end here, what I'm going to recommend on my website, is I would cut these static shocks and I would go up a jury rig and a rummage here. So with going up a rummage, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that discard things for value. So I think adding another jury rig in there sounds fine. We also had some clutch games where this being a burst speed blocker was very, very reasonable. So I think that's the change I would make. Basically, at a glance, leveling Ezreal is not as difficult as I thought it would be, especially with Moonlight Affliction and the Invoke, so I don't think I need a card like Static Shock that's only okay in the format in general. At any rate, that's going to wrap up for me for Runeterra for this morning. I appreciate everybody hanging out. If you're new to the channel, I do Runeterra stuff live on stream 5 to 6 days a week usually. I also have a couple of YouTube channels, one where I post a daily deck highlight video. I usually play 2 to 4 different Runeterra constructed decks every single day of the week. And if you want the best of those decks that are sweet and a little bit off meta, that Hoaglandia Highlights channel is for that. My youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland archives absolutely everything that I stream, so all up to 4 of those decks every day get posted there. Also, my variety stuff gets posted there, so I'm not going to be done streaming for the day, but we're going to shift gears and play some what's it called? We're working through Witcher 3, working on the DLCs on that, so I'll go ahead and dive into a little bit of that for the rest of the stream today.